button has been pushed and the thumbs have arrived.
The thumbs are here and we're live. How about that? How come my light won't... Oh, there it goes. There it goes. What's going on, everybody? We're like literally sitting here going, hey, we're back doing this. And we have to like remember where all the buttons are and what all the stuff is. Welcome to Dylan Talks Tone and welcome to our weekly live stream where you get to ask questions and we try to answer them. If you're new to the channel, this is a guitar channel. We talk about guitar stuff multiple times a week, including tomorrow is coming out a new video, which I don't normally do on Fridays, but I have so much stuff going right now that I have to share it with you. And Monday there will be another video. And then probably next Friday there will be another video. Like we're literally we got a lot of stuff going. So please hit the subscribe button and the like button. Please do me a favor and... Well, I just want to thank all my Patreon supporters. We're going to feature some of your Patreon and YouTube members. We're going to feature your questions tonight on the screen. You can be a part of that too if you're a Patreon member. You can also be part of a monthly hangout that we do on Zoom, all that kind of stuff. There's links below to Sweetwater, to Runway Audio cables. Austin told me yesterday at Runway Audio that... Did he text me yesterday or was that Tuesday?
Does it matter?
It does. He texted me Tuesday. We talked on the phone Tuesday. Mm-hmm. So that means by now, I didn't want to release it before him, but they just released, I think yesterday or this morning, noiseless cables.
That was yesterday. It was all over Instagram. Where were you?
Oh, was it? I wasn't on Instagram. Okay, so anyways, popless cables. So they have those now. He's sending me one. He says they're really good. So he's sending me one of those.
They say Runway Audio Silent.
Oh, silent plug. That's what he's calling them. Runway Audio Silent plug. So anyway, those just came out. So you can go to Runway Audio. There's a link in the description. You get 10% off if you use that link. Sweetwater, all that stuff. And my favorite shorts at 511 Tactical are also down there. And they have kilts. They have tactical kilts. So if you want a kilt, you can go to 511 Tactical and order one. I might order one.
You keep saying that.
I do keep saying it.
Now it's wintertime. I mean, when are you going to wear it?
It's
Where
true.
are you going to wear it?
I would gig in it for sure. If I still was playing a gig, I would definitely wear it to a gig. Yeah. Definitely.
But what if there was like a fan blowing?
Well, it would just be not as hot. It would be just ventilated. That's what they're for.
Is that what it's for?
Yeah. Anyway.
You want to wear a skirt, and I hate skirts. Freedom. I hate it. I mean, I don't hate freedom.
Good. I'm glad you. That's good. We almost said
it was like a long pause.
Yeah.
So I was like, maybe I should clarify.
All right. We have a bunch of questions from Patreon. If you have questions that you want to ask about guitar stuff, you are welcome to put them in the little chat feed right over here, and Leslie will try to catch them for you. We've been getting a lot of them lately, so if you want to, you got to catch them all like Pokemon. Yeah. Also, if you use the super chat, we'll drop what we're doing. We'll answer that question right away. And sometimes that's necessary.
Fan Shank guitar said he wore his kilt at his daughter's wedding. Your daughter's not getting married, but your son is.
But my son is, and I am the officiant. And
they would let you.
I have been thinking about a funny, crazy thing to wear. I was actually going to find some kind of like latex suit.
Not like cat suit, like an actual suit?
Yeah, no, not like a cat suit. No, like an actual suit that was like shiny. Like I was trying to figure out some crazy thing.
You can't shine up Bryson though. He's gonna look sharp.
Well, then maybe a kilt is it. I don't know. I'll talk to Mackenzie. Anyways, sorry, that's off topic. We have an off-topic hour coming later. Let's get into these questions. If you have questions or super chats, get them in there, and we will get to them as soon as we can. Sorry, we're having fun, and sometimes this randomness is just how it is, because when the camera's off, that's how this is.
Doc Silton said, I used to wear a kilt on stage and 14-hole Doc Martens.
Yeah, see, Doc Martens I can't do because I can't lift my feet up. They're too heavy. And very uncomfortable.
Okay, that was funny.
All right. You want to go through our Patreon questions?
Sure.
Let's rock and roll.
Rob says, hello, Leslie and Dylan. I was checking out specs of Gibson's recently announced Peter Green pickups. Unpolished, Alnico 2 magnets, asymmetrical coil windings, reverse polarity magnet in the neck, 8.7K in the bridge, 8.3K in the neck. Other than the reverse polarity, what is the significance and or impact on sound of the other specs? Thanks.
Ooh, this is a great question. And the reason Rob is asking this is because the Epiphone Les Paul that we just unboxed live the other day is his. And we are going to Peter Green that guitar. So that's why.
So you weren't wrong. It wasn't the Peter Green guitar, but he wants the Peter Green
Yeah,
stuff.
so he told me originally that he wanted a green guitar to do it. And I think the guitar that he wanted wasn't available.
That one's pretty.
I'm glad he didn't get the one that was the one that he wanted, because I think it's kind of ugly, and this thing is beautiful. So I'm glad it worked out the way it did. So Rob, let's talk about these pickups. So basically, they're just regular PAFs. So let's go through the things he said. So
unpolished magnets.
Alnico 2 magnets. That's what we use. That's just normal. Now we use Alnico 5s in our DAFs. Maybe we will put 2s in that one though, just because you asked for it. We'll try to mimic these as much as possible. So we'll put 2s in there. Unpolished versus polished. Some of your really bonkers Les Paul forum guys will go all in on why sandcast versus polished magnets changes the sound, and I will tell you that every person that is into arguing about that is too old to be able to hear the difference. It doesn't matter. The asymmetric coil wind thing is because somebody a long time ago took apart a PAF and realized that they were 300 winds off because they didn't have wind counters in the old days. Allegedly, that gives you a more mid-range push, but we've engineered around that a different way, so we don't do that. You can do it. Again, this is something that I think most people will never hear the difference. Some people, and if they say they can, I mean, I may or may not believe you based on how old you are and how good your ear is. But it's a thing. People are definitely into it. The 8.7 versus 8.3 bridge versus neck, that's just the wind counts that they're using. Ours are pretty close to 8.3 that we do in that situation. And then, of course, we'll flip the magnet. So, yeah, so the pickups that we're going to do, I'll make a couple of changes and make them a little bit closer to that spec for you. We'll customize them a little bit. And if they're awesome, maybe we'll...
What do you mean, if?
Oh, I mean, I know they're going to be awesome. But if they're cool enough that people think they're cool, maybe we'll do a short run of them with the flip magnet and stuff. Yeah. And he wants them. He emailed me too. He wants them unpotted. He wants the braided wire on it, so it's like vintage spec. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Good thing we do that.
Yeah. So very cool.
I mean you.
Yeah. Thank you, Rob, for the question. That was a neat one. That was fun to think about going through those specs, and we'll make it.
Charles. Hello, Leslie and Dylan. I'm glad you had safe travels. It's good to have Leslie back. That was very presumptuous. Do you remember if the Squire Anniversary Telecaster was routed for 2 or 3 pickups? Thanks again for spending the evening with us.
I believe that it's routed for 2 humbuckers or P90s and a center. Oh, that's a lot. Center.
You poured it.
I know. I wasn't paying attention to what I was doing.
I heard it. You couldn't hear?
I know. It has a center single coil in there, I think. So, yeah, there's 3 in there. So, thanks for the question, Charles.
Thanks for welcoming us back, Charles.
Yeah.
And
he's back
here.
on Patreon.
So.
I know he was away for a while, and he's back, and I appreciate him.
Zoltan, new friend. I met Zoltan.
Got to meet Zoltan in
That's
person.
fun.
All the way from Belgium.
I like knowing names and faces.
He came 9,000 miles or something to build a Strat. It was super fun.
Bonus, he has an accent.
Yeah, Leslie likes people with accents.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't tell him that. I just creepily sat by him at dinner and things like that.
Listen to him talk, yeah.
I mean.
Well, and you guys had
Not sorry.
not guitar related stuff in common. So that was pretty interesting.
He's the first one that I've met.
Mm-hmm.
And the initial contact that we have is on LinkedIn. That sounds very professional.
Professional content. Yes, very cool. All right, Zoltan's question is...
Zoltan. Hi, Leslie and Dylan. Amp tone question. If you had to play through a classic blues rock gig in one single setting on a 2-channel tube amp, using only the knobs of a Strat to control your sound, would you A, crank the clean channel to the edge of breakup, or B, use the crunch channel on a low gain setting? I know it depends on the amp and the set list, but which would you prefer on your favorite amp?
Ooh, that's a great question. So, it depends on the amp. I guess I've got two answers based on the two amps that I have sitting right here that I like for different reasons. The Blackstar 6L6 is pretty high gain, but the way it's set up is the clean channel is just really clean, and it just kind of never breaks up. So on the Blackstar, I would put it on the dirty channel, and then I would just turn everything kind of down. I would turn the power amp way up and turn the preamp way down to the edge of breakup. So I'd put the power amp on 7 or 8, and I'd put the preamp on 1 or 2. Master on... So for people that don't know, the master volume is basically your power amp. So basically, I would put the master on 8 or 9, and I would put the volume, which is typically the preamp, on 1 or 2, and then I would run it like that. On the Princeton's a single channel amp. Whether it was the Tone Master or a regular Princeton, I would basically, I would run it exactly how I have it right now. I would put this on 7 or 8, almost dime it, depending on the guitar that I'm playing. If it's a Strat, how hot the pickups are, how broken up I want it to be. I might even just turn it all the way up and then just use my volume knob on the guitar to clean up whenever I want. But you have to have really good pickups to do that. Cheap pickups won't do that. So if your guitar won't do that,
I know a guy.
DylanTalksTone.com. Yeah.
Really know a guy.
Better than anybody. That's a great question.
That was a good question.
These are fun questions to think about. Not just good questions, but what would I do? I like these kind.
All right. Jeff. Hello, Dylan and Leslie. He actually put your name first. Dylan and Leslie. Is a tone knob on the neck pickup even necessary? And does anybody use it? I never use the tone knob on the neck pickup.
Absolutely. So this is where the thumbnail came from. So most people, there's a lot of people that feel that the tone knob is unnecessary because it just takes tone away, which it does. But to just get a little bit nerdy, I've been watching all these Japanese knife videos.
I know.
So they've been so nerdy that I'm kind of wanting to get nerdy again because it's just kind of fun.
It's also cooking, y'all.
Yeah, I've been cooking a lot more because I got some new knives. So, I ordered you one today.
You ordered me a knife?
Uh-huh.
Sounds like a setup.
No, it is not. Remind me, off-topic hour, I will tell you why and what I bought you.
Okay.
And why. Because it's legitimate.
There's a what and a why and another why?
Maybe.
That's what you said.
Legitimate reason. Legitimate reason. Yeah.
That I don't even know.
Nope. What are we talking about? Oh, yeah. So the tone knob, it obviously takes high frequencies away. But the other thing that it does, because we're talking about a variable LC circuit here with a coil, a resistor, and a voltage divider, is the voltage divider is the volume, The variable resistor with the cap on it is the tone pot, and the coil obviously is the pickup. Completely passive circuit. Anytime you adjust either of those things, not only does it play with the frequency, but it moves it. So it changes the width of the Q, which is like the resonant peak. It changes like how wide it is versus how skinny it is, and it moves it back and forth a little bit. Because once the resistance of the circuit changes, i.e. with the volume knob, or the allowed filter, high pass filter with the tone pot, it will move the entire thing. So it doesn't just take highs away. It actually changes how the guitar responds with the amp. And again, this also depends on your setup and everything. It's just a really hard one. I don't know how to convey it with a video because I just do it and feel it and play that way. But this very question right here, this very question is the reason why I encourage everyone to own a single pickup guitar and a single channel low wattage amp for at least a small amount of time, because it teaches you this. It teaches you no pedals. Junior or an Esquire with a Princeton. Just like the last question, understand where your volume knob is, understand where your edge of breakup is, and understand what the resistor, the voltage divider, and the coil do and how they interact in your guitar to get various tones. No pedals or anything, just plugged in with a Runway Audio silent cable, link in the description. And you will learn so much about this. It's just this is why it's important. Oh, we got a super chat. I just saw the green over there.
Ruining it. Super chat from George Dial. Thank you for the super chat.
Yeah,
I
thanks.
know that sometimes it's hard to get comments in with super chats based on some feedback I've seen. So if you have a question, I will grab it, George. But thank you.
Oh, they can't always...
People say that. They're like, I don't know. I didn't know how to put the question in with the super chat. So there's nothing here. So I'm going to assume that maybe you had a question.
One thing I did learn
Yes.
is that if you're cheap about the super chat, if it's only $1, you can only type this much.
That's what somebody told me not last week.
So
before.
I've had to, like when I'm talking to those guys at Texas
You have
Toast,
to give more money.
I've had to give them more money to get my
I thought
whole
they were
thought in.
kidding. And
No,
they
that's
just
how it
told me
works.
that. No, I guess maybe we were talking about it last week because I was just watching and you were live.
No, it limits the
That's
the character
so
count
silly.
based on,
So silly. All right.
Anyway, we'll
So
look for you, George. Oh,
He
there's one
says
right there.
we by me. George Dial says.
Put his up there.
Yep. I'm installing a Dylan dog ear in my Gibson Les Paul Jr. this weekend.
Dude,
Yeah.
stoked for you, man. Stoked for you. I think Patrick Hardy got his P90s and his signed T-shirt.
Patrick Hardy must have, because he asked, did I or you sign his T-shirt? It's okay either way. Y'all, I don't check his email. I don't do anything. I don't sign his name. I sit here on Thursdays. This is when you see me.
Yep.
I travel with him. I don't know anything about anything unless he needs something on the website that he can't do himself.
Yeah, but you help me with a lot of stuff.
Yeah, but I don't. I am not his secretary, y'all.
No, that is true.
I'm not his
She
secretary.
is not. No.
I will not be his secretary.
No.
Because he doesn't listen.
No. No, and I don't do paperwork. And I don't...
Which means he needs a secretary.
And I don't balance checkbooks very good and stuff, so we don't...
Which means he needs me.
Yeah.
But...
Yeah, anyway.
But... No, I don't do these things for him.
Nope.
He does it all by himself.
She does it.
Like a grown-up.
That's true.
With your grown-up drink.
That's right.
All right. Anyway. Yes, I think Patrick got his stuff. He said that. All right. I think I had... Nope, that was it.
Ryan.
Oh, are there two more down there? Oh, I bumped one down. My bad. Yes, I did. Ryan. Hi, Dylan and Leslie. I saw a Guitar.com article today with a European retailer saying John Cruz Guitars has folded received a lawyer's letter claiming JCG has gone out of business, owing the retailer product and unable or unwilling to refund prepaid monies. What have you heard? Any impact on vendors or other sellers you know?
So, I saw this question and I was like, I'm not going to tell her about it. I'm just going to put it in there.
Did I read it sarcastically?
No, yeah.
Perhaps.
Okay. This is I'm gonna speak on this. You can take the thing down. I'm gonna speak on this. This is a tough one because for those of you that do not know, for the first 120 guitars or so that John Cruz made, I made all of his pickups. And I designed his pickups. And we lived there for 2 months, 5 minutes from his shop, so that we could work together and design his pickups. That's where I got to play Gary Moore guitar, Stevie Ray Vaughan's number 1. That's where I got to do all that fun stuff. And what I will say is, a lot of people, some people criticized me for working with him because of the reasons he left Fender and stuff. And I'm one of these folks who will never, if you tell me that guy's a jerk, I'm not going to believe you. I'm going to find out for myself. And until there's something that I get a bad vibe about, I'm going to form my own opinion about a person, because I think that's the only fair thing to do. So that's what we did. And John was great. He helped me with a lot of stuff. He introduced me to a lot of people. I learned a lot of things from him. All the things I learned about Abby, all the things I learned about all these guitars and how he was really, really awesome to work with. 100% awesome to work with, and a really nice guy to just talk to. He was pretty kind. We built, like I said, about 120 guitars worth of pickups for him. Towards the end of the relationship, which I didn't know was the end, it got very difficult to get paid. Very difficult. We ended up getting paid, but it was very difficult. That cannot be said for some of my other friends who are involved as vendors who have not gotten paid to the tune of tens of thousands of dollars. So I do know people that have personally been affected. There was never a, hey, we're going a different direction. Hey, he just ghosted me. 100% ghosted me. Which is fine. I've had other guitar builders do this to me before. The only negative thing I will say is that the whole reason I did it in the first place and took the risk is because, building pickups for John Cruz is pretty cool. And I told him, I said, and he gave me a whole list of promises about how all ships will rise, and you're going to, I'm going to go to shows with them, and I'm going to tell everybody, and blah, blah, blah. And he would never let me tell anybody. He would never tell anybody. In all the Premier Guitar articles and everything, he took credit for designing all the pickups, and he did not. I did. Literally, I did. He gave me a set of pickups and he said, can you do this? Can you make this sound? I didn't know what the whine counts were. I didn't know what the wire diameters were, nothing. I had to start from scratch and make them sound the same, which is something I'm very good at doing. And I did it the first try. It was on the first try. So we designed 4 sets of pickups with him, 3 or 4 sets of pickups with him. They were all perfect on the first try. I never redid anything. Not to brag, I'm good at this junk. I am good at this junk. He never gave me credit for any of it. He never told anybody. He never allowed me to tell anybody. And so all ships did not rise. And you know what? Maybe in retrospect, that's fine because he's out of business and owes people a bunch of money. And my name was never on anything. And now that's totally fine. And now I'm telling you afterwards. So I've been pretty miffed about that over the last couple of years. We have not done any work for him for about a year. The last text I got from him was October 17th of last year, so which is a year ago. So, you know, and we are fine. We have been made whole. We did not lose any money. I did lose a bunch of money on a bunch of inventory that I bought just for him. We probably have, I don't know, there's probably $5,000 worth of pickup inventory when you look at the completed product sitting here that I can't use for anything because it's got his name engraved in it and stuff. So, you know, I'm not even miffed about that. What I'm miffed about is you promised me to be a cool dude and he even made a post on a Facebook post that I supported you and I said great things about your pickups and stuff. And I'm like, no, you didn't, because you didn't allow me to. And you didn't say anything about it either. So, as you are aware, I'm very, very hardcore about we never leave a pickup never leaves here without my name on it. And this is the only time that ever happened because I was promised that I was going to get that and I never got it. So that's the only negative thing about it. As far as the entire experience, it was great. I got to learn a lot of things from him. I'm grateful for the whole experience. We are now making 200 pickups a month with no problem because we learned a lot of things about the process. Our pickups, I believe my pickups are better, not because I copied anything that he was doing, but just efficiency and neatness and learning and execution of the business.
Having to build bulk at a time, which was something you had never had to do.
Yes.
Refined a lot of things.
We really got very well refined. I got better about designing, better about teaching others. Like, it helped everything. And I'm very grateful to him for introducing me to, Runway Audio. Austin, that's how I met him. The guys at Casino, that's how I met them. So I was very, Carlos Lopez, from the guy that used to be a Fender. I met a whole bunch of really neat people and made a lot of contacts.
We met Carlos because of Casino.
Well, that's true. But if you just think about how it all mushrooms out, we've had a great couple of years, and I do owe a lot of contacts and friends to meeting John. So I appreciate. Oh, and my favorite wood guy that we mentioned. I don't ever really mention his name, but
he's the little birdie.
He's the little birdie that tells me things.
He knows who he is.
He knows who he is, and I really appreciate. He's the one that called me initially because he was helping John with that stuff. So I'm very grateful, 100% for the entire experience. I am very frustrated and peeved by the way the end part of it went down, and I feel for anybody else who has been affected negatively by it, because let's be honest, John couldn't manage his way out of a wet paper bag. So it's just kind of how it is, you know? Some people are made to be employees and some people are made to run their own businesses. And John can relic guitars, but I don't think he's a very good CEO. So that's all I'm going to say about that. Try to keep that as positive as I can because I don't really want to throw shade on a person, but and thank him for what he did do for me. But we're moving on with our lives, and I'm very happy about that. That's all I'm going to say. And we already had, but it kind of came up.
This was news to us, too.
Yeah, it kind of came up yesterday. And then, anybody I knew in the guitar business texted me yesterday. Hey, are you okay? Hey, are you okay? And I'm like, yes, I'm fine. Like, people were texting me a bunch. So, and I've never really talked about it on the channel, and because I couldn't. But I feel that now I can at least tell you the story and just be like, this is how it is, and I think it's great for us now. But he's going to have to go, I don't know, do whatever he's going to do.
You ready to catch up now?
More power to him, yeah.
Super chat from Van Shank Guitars. Thank you for the super chat. He said, I had to swap propane tanks in the RV. What did I miss?
You missed a lot if that's what you missed.
That was a while back.
Okay.
Because you just been talking.
Okay. You might want to watch that part over again, Ivan.
He probably caught that
part. I think Ivan might know, though.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I've mentioned a bit of it on Patreon before.
Right. All right. So, I'm going to scroll. I know there's other super chats, but I want to grab some things in between
Yep.
as they're all rolling in. I apologize for being behind. Looks like I was further along than I thought. All right, question marks. Let's see. Question marks. That's why they're important.
Yep.
Let's see.
Some super chats too.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm trying to get to.
Cool.
Here we go.
Sorry, we usually get to those sooner.
Vinny's World, thank you for the super chat. Vinny said hi from the future earlier. I was like, fingers crossed that Friday's good. Are those designs going to be incorporated back into your product lineup?
No. They were never part of my product lineup. They are not currently part of my product lineup. And I will be very careful to not do that because I never want to. I don't want to fog that. I don't want to. That's a line.
It's the right thing to do.
It's the right thing to do to just let those designs lay. Mm-hmm. Maybe come up with something that I like. I mean, we could definitely do something inspired by it, but I feel that there are some designs that I worked on that I never did come out that I am going to do. So,
yeah. And that's knowledge that he won't lose. So
no, I learned all of it. Not all, I mean,
all of it.
I learned a lot.
Super chat from Keith H. Thank you for the super chat, Keith. He said, wouldn't let me leave a message for $1. Trying.
Thanks,
Testing the
Keith.
system. So he had to give a $2 comment to say he couldn't leave a message for $1.
Oh, maybe that's why the $1.99 people can't. Maybe it's under a...
Oh. No, that last one was like $5 or something.
Oh, okay.
Or 10.
I don't know. Thank you, Keith.
I don't remember.
You guys are awesome.
Let's see. All right. Super chat from Rusty Fenders. Thank you for the super chat.
Hey, Rusty.
Is his name Jose?
Yep.
Hi. He's just said hi. Hello. Hello to your wife if she's there.
She might not be because it's not 9
it's
o'clock
not
yet.
9 o'clock yet.
Yeah,
all
maybe
right.
she's not listening yet.
Well, I said hello anyway. All right. Super chat from Keith H again. Thank you for the super chat, Keith. He said that last super chat is how much I could say for $2. This is better. Thanks, guys. So that must be why it ended.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank y'all. So $5 must be the magic number where you can actually do something with it, huh?
Fascinating.
I don't know. I didn't.
Thank you for the super chat.
Yeah.
And for the experiment.
Yes, thank you
That's
for
the way you
the
learn.
experiment that costs money. I appreciate y'all.
Did you say reappreciate? Appreciate? I don't know what you said. It sounded like you said reappreciate. Let's see. Rusty Fenders, thank you for the super chat. He says, cool, Keith H. So they're like, oh, yeah, he just said that super chat battle. That's funny.
Super chat battle.
Figuring out how many characters per dollar, apparently.
Yep.
Who knew it was even a thing?
I mean, I knew it was a thing because I've tried to say stuff like when I was planning stuff with Matt and Chris or letting them know that we were doing something that, because we were working together on something and I couldn't fit it and had to up it.
Oh, and Vinny made a good point too. So the $2 doesn't get the bump to the banner.
Oh.
He was right. It doesn't. Let's see. Super chat from Rusty Fenders. $5 seems to give you a banner and more characters. Funny. Yeah, he's right. So it puts it up in the top banner.
Oh, I love it.
And apparently you can type more characters. It is pretty funny.
It is pretty funny.
I did not know that was a thing until they were talking about it last week.
Yeah.
So funny that you brought it up, that you just ran into it yourself. You just admitted that you were being cheap with your super chat too. By the way.
Well, it's kind of because me and Matt have an agreement that it's and we have an agreement that it's like, I mean, we're just paying each other, so why do we do it? But I still do it because
he sees your comments.
Yes, and it's such a good example. I want people to know that I'm willing to support other channels too. Yeah, I feel like it's, it's not just take.
I don't know where that comment is. Is this behind? No. There's Curtis Shaw. Oh, there it is. We appreciate them so much that we had to reappreciate them. Because that's what I thought you said was reappreciate.
Reappreciate. There's a lot of clunking around going on up there right now. I don't know what's happening.
Didn't miss having an upstairs neighbor while we were gone.
Nope.
All right. I think I didn't miss any of these.
Okay. Now we have a bunch of questions backed up too, huh?
So, are you ready?
I am.
All right. Rusty Shackelford wants to know.
Hey, Rusty.
Why might you prefer audio taper pots to linear taper or vice versa? I can see the advantage for volume to be audio for volume swells, but seems tone pots could be more easy to dial in with linear.
I actually like audio tapered tone pots for the same reason. What it does is it gives you a lot of room between, a lot of adjustability between like 10 and like 4. And it doesn't feel like it does a lot, but it does enough. And when you're playing, you can just grab it and whip it. Like you can grab it and just stick it in a spot instead of having to sit there and tweak it and get it perfectly right. I feel like I over adjust or go too much the wrong way with a linear pot because I use my tone knob a lot. And so I feel like I can just go down there and just give it a chink and okay, now it's down, but it's not down too far with a audio taper. That's why I use it.
Keith H., thank you for the super sticker. It says, pair character turning around, waving his hand, saying, like hey, you, while lowering his glasses. So there he is. Yep. I wonder why he always wears a sweatband. Why does a pair need a sweatband?
I don't know. Good question.
We never decided why it had to be a pair.
Those are the most important questions right there. What is the pair for?
I don't know. All right. Logical cue. Serious question. On a passive guitar, do you voice your pickups to sound their best with the tone knob wide open, or do you aim for bright to give the tone knob some headroom?
I don't aim for bright, but that is not bright is the wrong word. I don't like bright because bright can be very brittle sounding and be very like attack your ear. But I like clarity. I like it to be able to have a sparkle that's not harsh, but allows you to be able to hear the expression of the string. That's how we engineer all of our stuff, and that's what I really go for. What I tell people is, if you're a person who never uses your tone knob, it's possible that you may start using your tone knob once you get my stuff.
Patrick Hardy, thank you for the super sticker. He says, pair character punching the air with fist and bump written on his knuckles.
Oh yeah, we've seen that one before.
I think that must be his favorite. I think Patrick's the one that does that.
I think he's the one that does that most of the time.
All right. Doc Siltonen, thank you for the super chat. Supporting friends is cool, and so are tone knobs. I always put one in the circuit regardless of the number of pickups, but that's me.
Thank you, Don, for the super chat. I don't know if you saw, but I used the Paisley Telly in a video the other day. I put a set of my clear DAFs in that thing, and that guitar is awesome.
Mainly because it looks cool.
It looks so
color,
cool.
It always goes with everything.
Mm-hmm.
That you own anyway, like strangely.
Yeah.
If I played guitar, I would steal it.
It's cool.
It would match all my stuff.
It would. It would. No, I really like.
Play guitar though.
I really like that guitar. And his necks are common between them. You know, so
There's a familiarity.
yeah. So the yellow one too. I used both of those guitars in the video the other day, and I was like, man, this thing is really good. I really like it. So anyway, thank you.
Rusty Fender sent a super sticker to shake it up. It's not just pears. It says a hot dog with ketchup.
Oh my gosh. Look at that. All right. That's awesome. Thank you, Rusty. All right, back to questions.
So fun. Yes. Patrick Hardy says, tell Dylan he needs to put your limited t-shirt on your website. Do you have a limited t-shirt?
I don't right now.
I don't know. Rusty Fender says, is there an orientation to a tone cap, like text up or something like that?
No.
That's easy. El Deuterino, what does it mean to be tactical?
I don't know what the actual word means.
It doesn't mean to have tact.
No. I don't know. Keep going and I'm going to look up the word.
Oh, we're going to get a definition.
Yeah.
Curtis Chavez says, freedom, LOL. Charles Wallace, if we watch on multiple devices, does it raise the view numbers?
Yep.
All the devices. Get all the devices out.
Oh, I like this.
There's a definition?
Adroit is a great word. Adroit in planning or maneuvering to accomplish a purpose.
So you have a purpose?
I mean, I feel like I do.
What's your purpose?
I mean, that's too big of a question for before 9 o'clock.
I think it's just to see how heavy his pants can weigh. He buys the lightest weight pants to put crap in all the pockets. All of which costs money.
She's like, the other day we're in the car, and she puts her hand, you know, like when you're driving, you just put she puts her hand on my thigh, and she goes, I have to put my hand all the way down to your knee before I can actually feel your leg because there's so much stuff in your
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Pretty ridiculous.
Anyway.
El Deuterino says, okay, I have a question. What
Ready.
does reverse polarity do?
It makes the pickup sound like it's holding its nose when it's in the middle position. You will hear it in an upcoming video.
Interesting.
Subscribe and hit the bell.
Wow.
I mean, you know.
Gary Simmons says, anyone else note the 20% off sale on PRS SE models? A McCarty 594 might be in my future tomorrow.
You should do it.
Then he says, I'm thinking a PRS SE plus DTT pickup upgrade gets you really close to a core.
I don't know that it gets you close to a core, but what I will tell you is I had one of those, 594 McCarty, and I put a set of pickups in it, and it was fantastic. If you get the DGT, put DAFs in it. If you get the 594, pull the resistor out of the coil tap thing and put a set of center punches in it, and it will be amazing. That guitar is really nice and really good.
Ison said, thank you for the super chat. I mean, Ison didn't say that. I said thank you, but Ison sent the super chat.
Thank you.
Hey, Dylan and Leslie. I have been MIA working doing HVAC. I missed a few episodes, but back now. I really like the show and look forward to it. You guys are awesome.
Thank you. You know, I was just thinking that when I saw your name. We hadn't seen you around in a while, so welcome back.
So does that mean, like, it gets darker earlier, so now he's not doing HVAC till like 9 o'clock? Or is there just, like, less demand when the weather changes?
Maybe he's been stuck in the attic since, like, June. Maybe he just
weird.
came down. I mean, it's, you know.
I hope you don't live in the South, Ison. Or you would be
really hot. Yeah, but if you didn't live in the South, then you wouldn't be so busy doing HVAC that you didn't have time to watch YouTube. if you lived in the Arctic, you would. Well, I guess it's heating, ventilation, and air. So yeah, I guess it doesn't matter.
Wow.
It wouldn't be a perfectly temperate 68-degree climate, though.
Who has 68 degrees? We don't. All right. Back to the favorite tab. Also, Zoltan was really interested. He like looked over my shoulder when y'all were live because he was like, "What are you talking about when you like grab questions and all this?"
Because he got to see the behind the scenes of the software we use and stuff. Yeah.
Rusty Fenders. I just got used to my Alnico 2 pickups. I did not expect a notable difference from 2 to 5, but I did. Mm-hmm. At first it bothered me, but it's good that it sounds a bit different than the other guitars.
If you have not tried a pair of our Thruxton humbuckers, I recommend that you do. I think you will like them. And maybe Rusty, you already have a set of A2 pickups, but for those of you that have not tried them, I definitely recommend it. It's a cool sound.
Ryan White. That person hasn't been here a while either. But he's been here before because every time I see that name, it's like a cancer grant at the hospital. It's called the Ryan White grant. So I think of it every time I see his name. Ryan White, thoughts on the new PRS SE CE line with bolt-on necks. Also, SE Silver Skies are 20% off right now. Also tempting.
I would buy any of that stuff. I think it's great. CEs have bolt-on necks anyway, but I would buy any of that. I think that's awesome. I'm not going to, but I would if I was buying a guitar right now.
Give 'em 2 says, "Ahoy there, Leslie and Dylan.
What's up, dude?
It's good to see you." Another person.
Sorry, we were so in and out of Colorado so fast
that we missed him.
He wanted to go shooting.
Oh, I didn't know that.
He did, and we just didn't. I mean, Matt and I went to the range for literally 15 minutes.
Yeah.
In between, it was like run from there to there to do that for I think we shot 50 rounds and we left, and we were there for like 10 minutes, 15 minutes. It was like
it was fast.
Super fast.
'Cause I didn't even go in.
Nope, and we didn't get to hardly do anything outside of work. It was very, very busy. So, yeah.
Cool.
Yep.
I like knowing people.
But I will catch you one of these times when I'm out there.
Because we'll be there again.
Because we'll be there again.
Yeah. El Duderino knows too. Ryan White. He knows Ryan White too.
Cool.
I think he died. It was a kid who died of AIDS.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, so maybe it wasn't a cancer grant. Maybe it was an AIDS grant. I don't know. We had both clinics, so could be. I don't know.
She used to work at the hospital.
I didn't work those claims. Let's see. Gary Simmons. Do Alnico 2 pickups typically have more openness and clarity? I'm assuming he said clarify. I can get gain at the amp. Don't need a hot pickup.
Yeah. It's just different. There's I personally feel like, let me just say the compression happens differently. That's what it is. Rusty, if you want to, Fenders, if you want to weigh in with your opinion of A2 stuff, now that you're used to yours, the compression is different. 5 to me is more open. 2 is a little more crunchy, but you also have some flexibility in different ways with it too.
See, I'm not the only one. Curtis Chavez just said Sultan. Isn't that the dude behind the glass in the fortune teller carnival machine? I did talk to him about that because I kind of felt bad. Like, I knew I had, like, picked on his name before, and he was just like, I don't care. Felt like I should at least bring it up, though.
I think it's cool that an actual person that I know has that name. I think it's neat.
It is a cool name. Mm-hmm. And he also told us how to say his last name, but I'll never pretend to know that.
I can't remember it either.
I just know it had to roll in there somewhere, and I didn't even know a rolling sound was required outside Spanish language, and I was like, nope, out.
Yep. No joke. I know because I see it when he orders stuff from me. I see it, and I'm just like, I don't even know how to say that. When
consonants go in many in a row, it just really messes with me.
Yep. Well, that's an Eastern European name, right? I think he's from Hungary, so originally. So
Either way.
yeah.
There's a lot of consonants.
There's a lot of consonants in it
Anyway.
that don't normally go together in the language that we speak.
I hope you're laughing as you listen to us in 2x, Zoltan.
Oh, that's right. He did tell me he listened. He's like, you know what's really cool about listening? Because he listens to me, all of our stuff in 2x so that he can, like, 2 times speed, on YouTube, so that he can fit it all into his schedule. And he said, the cool thing about listening to you in 2x is it sounds like you really shred. And I'm like, I should just record everything in 2x. All my playing. Just record it in 2x.
Sunbay says, question, you mentioned engineering pickups. Did Gibson and Fender actually spend much time engineering their pickups back in the 50s and 60s, or just go by trial and error?
They still do. They still spend time, and engineering is trial and error. Like there's a lot of things you write down, and there's a lot of things and I have a notebook with a bunch of notes in it and a bunch of specs and stuff. But what it really comes down to it's a lot of experimenting. Yeah, it's a lot of experimenting. So a little of both, I guess, is the answer.
Dastardly Dave is here. I feel like I haven't seen him in a long
What's
time.
up, Dave?
Now people are talking about the floor piano. That was my favorite part as a kid, too.
What?
The floor piano at the toy store in Big.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway. Black Star says, how should I mount the humbucker on an EVH Frankie build?
So what you usually have to do with that is go to the dollar store, get some cheap flip-flops, cut it into like a pad that fits underneath there so it's kind of squishy and you can mount it that way. But what you'll probably have to do is when you hard mount a pickup, you'll either have to use a smaller screw than the hole or drill the hole out to kill the threads so that you can put a screw through it to put it straight down.
Mike Jones says, that's funny. I watch YouTube videos in 1.5x sometimes. Some speakers talk so slow it sounds normal, but music, blasphemy. So, funny story about that is we both listen to some of the same podcasts separately, but then when we're on a road trip, he'll want to play podcasts, of which I had already heard all the ones you wanted to listen to, but they do. They sound like they're in slow motion to me because I listen in a faster speed, and even the theme music, like it sounds
like it's
retarded when you listen to it. I'm like, what is wrong with that?
Yeah.
Robert Hastings is here. He said he might have short rehearsal tonight, so welcome, Robert.
Sweet. What's up, Robert?
All right. Patrick Hardy says, if you need one pickup and a guitar, love Dylan Super 8.
Oh, yeah. Same.
El Duderino says, has anyone ever done a single pickup in the neck position? Because that'd be wild.
Yes. My dad has one. My dad has a Guild hollow body with that. I made a pickup for that guitar, actually.
Rusty Shackelford said, Peter Green pickups are exactly the burst bucker 1 and 2 with 1 magnet swap.
That's all it is, yep.
Rusty Fender says, more than $1 lets you leave text on the phone. It's a bit tricky. So maybe people are using their phone. Maybe that's the struggle. I don't know. Thank you. Let's see. Relic Guitars says, hey Dylan, can you help TTG out with their live stream video quality? It always buffers at my end and yours doesn't.
Their internet is a little bit slower there. When I'm there to do a live stream, I actually have to live stream from my hotspot.
Yep. Just to not be on the network.
Denver is weird like that.
Yeah.
Because of the mountains and everything, it's just kind of sketchy.
Rusty Shackelford said, I've been dialing amp in with tone pots on 5, and so it's almost like adding highs and turning to 10 and not nearly as muddy on 1 or 0. Thoughts on doing that?
Wow. I've never heard of that, and that's an interesting thing that I'm going to try tomorrow.
So we don't have thoughts yet.
No.
Except that it's interesting.
Yeah, it feels like you're hamstringing yourself, but if you're finding sounds that you like and adjustability that you like and a leeway with your tone and you can get whatever you want, then you're doing the right thing. I mean,
Angel Raven 444 says, Dylan, your setup video was awesome. It's going to come in real handy for my next pawn shop guitar. Thanks.
Thank you. That was a fun video to make. I came out of the office a couple times that day going, I'm having fun making this video.
You did. Dragon Sage. It's a cool name. Dylan, was that the guy behind the scenes that did the work? I think what he's asking is, yes, that was the guy we couldn't talk about.
Oh, yeah.
Or did
Yeah, the work stuff that I couldn't talk about, that I always say I have a thing that I'm doing that I can't talk about. That was it, yeah.
And then we just stopped talking about it because it wasn't anything exciting to talk about.
Because we didn't know what was going on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he ghosted me.
Even before that, I feel like we were just like...
Yeah, just like, whatever.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Patrick Hardy says, ask Dylan what size screws I need for the P90's pickup, the ones that go on top of the pickup into the wood on the bottom.
Number 2 by 1.5 inches.
Easy enough. Curtis Chavez says, Dylan, what's the difference in sound between a DAF and your sweet humbucker? Sweet?
Maybe he meant Super 8.
I don't know. He put it in quotes. Sweet.
I don't know. So my DAF is just, that is our vintage PAF sound. Our Super 8 is the same wind with an Alnico 8 pickup in it. Or an Alnico 8 magnet in it. Then we have our Thruxton, which is wound a little hotter. It's basically the Slash A2 pickups. My version of that. They're Alnico 2, and they sound amazing. Yeah. Center punches for coil splitting. 8 ball's a hotter version of a center punch with a ceramic magnet in it. General rundown.
Matthew Altamare. How do you select gear, such as pickups, without being able to try it first? We get reviews from a ton of people, but their rigs will never be the same as ours or as we hear them on video reviews.
That's a great question, and that's why I have a hard time making those kinds of videos, because so one of the things that I think is more important than picking gear based on a review, and this is why I like to do reviews differently. What is the pedal for? Not how does it sound. What is it for? Okay? So what is the pedal for? What does the cable do and what is it for and how does it... That's why we get nerdier here than more gear-centric. Because what I'm trying to do is teach people how to understand the gear, not choose it based on how it sounds. Choose it based on how it works. That's the difference. What I mean by that is, if you have, I don't know, what do we have here? Let's see. All right, so let's take this pedal right here. Let's say we're going to do a review on the PRS IKEA meatball. Or, well, I call it, it's the horse meat, but I call it the IKEA meatball. No matter what you're right. No matter what I do to review this pedal, you're not going to sound the same as me because you have a different amp than me, then you have a different, right? And you play different than me. So, instead of telling you how it sounds, I'm going to tell you what it's supposed to do. So this is a clon thing, and what the frequency of response of a clon does, how much gain it usually adds, and tell you what type of amp that it works the best with, and what the voice does and how it changes the frequency response, and how the tone circuit works, because this is a little bit different tone circuit than a normal pedal. How this works in your signal chain is more important than how it sounds. If you understand how it sounds and you understand how your signal chain works, or if you understand how this works, you understand how your signal chain works, then you can know whether a pedal will complement, or any piece of gear will complement what you already have, or it will not complement what you already have. 99% of the time, you will be able to, if you understand how it works, not how it sounds. There's a difference. If you understand how it works and what it's doing to your signal, you will be able to make any pedal or any piece of gear sound good in your rig because you understand how to get what you want out of it. There's a difference between that and being like, well, I heard it in a video and it sounded awesome. 99% of the time, the reason people don't like pedals is because they heard it in a review, they got it home, and they couldn't get it to sound like that. The reason, and it's not the pedal's fault, and it's not your rig's fault. It's the fact that you didn't understand specifically what it does and how it works to get the sound that you want. And that's why we spend totally different resources on how we do videos. I personally believe there is no bad gear. Well, there's some bad gear, but from legitimate companies in the guitar industry, there really isn't that, there's no bad gear. It's all about trying to figure out who it's for and what it's for, not how good it is, because it's all good.
All right. It's 9:01 and you talked a lot and we still have 14 questions.
So let's do...
You need to do a super round because we weren't here last week and you just keep talking.
All right. Yeah, but this is my job.
I know, but you have to answer.
And they can use super chats.
So you want to just cut it off?
No. Let's do a lightning round, but we won't spend a lot of time. But maybe not all of them, but we'll see.
Also, Curtis meant smoothie versus DAF, not sweet.
So that pickup is wound like a DAF, but it's different wire, and it cuts a little bit of the high end off the top. That's why we call it the smoothie. It's a stupid name. I need to rename it.
Yeah, there's not an engine named Smoothie.
No.
Especially if somebody thinks it's sweet. Smoothie, sweet. Maybe that's why I said it. T-Bone, hey guys. Dylan, what is your favorite non-Fender Stratocaster?
Silver Sky, duh.
Grammy Campbell, hi. I replaced a faulty pot in my Gibson Les Paul Jr. Tribute DC. It's now sitting slightly proud of the pick guard. Slightly proud?
Sticking up.
Of the pick guard compared to the other. Is there a way of fitting them better?
Use the nut. There should be 2 nuts on it. And back nut it so that you can back it down. Next.
Diarrhea splatter. Did the Paisley come with the APC pickup in the neck? I hear those are super rare now.
No, it's not that Paisley guitar. This is a custom build that a friend of mine did for me.
Martian Murray, thoughts on the Highway series? I'm in the gimme a solid body or regular acoustic camp.
Nope, you're wrong. I think those things are amazing, and I think the people that gig acoustic gigs are going to absolutely love them. That's going to be one of those guitars, just like the Acoustasonics. People that don't have them think they're stupid, and everybody that loves them actually owns one and knows what they can really do, and they are awesome. And it will be the same. They will be awesome.
Benny's World says, Dylan, I'm installing the special run DAFs today. Are those a set, or will the middle be out of phase if I install as is? Thanks.
They're a set. I think I wound those as a set for you.
Which means what? They're...
Just put them in normal.
And it will be or will not be
will
out
not
of
be
phase?
out of phase.
Okay. Charles Wallace, how about a push-pull for 7 selections on a Strat pickguards or for a Nashville setup?
Yeah, that works. So you pop the neck back in. My PRS Fiore has that. I like it.
Juki Tash. Hey Dylan, any experience with Chinese copy guitars?
As little as possible.
Oh. His name is not Grammy, it's Graham. Sorry about that. Thank you for telling me, because I didn't know.
She likes to get people's names right.
I do. And he laughed at me, but I'm sorry. I don't like to get people's names wrong. So thank you for telling me. He said that is the Scottish spelling.
Oh, yeah. Cool.
Ben Nolan, echoing the last guy's statement. Love watching you guys. It's like 20% music, 80% sitcom.
That's awesome. We have a bike hanging in here just like Seinfeld.
Blase YouTube says, the prospect of doing a TTG workshop with you has given me something to look forward to and helped me get out of depression.
Dude, I would love to have you at a workshop and help you with that because
it's fun.
It's one of the reasons why I do this. I was there for a long time myself.
Kenneth Crickmore, am I right to assume that the stainless steel pickguard on my strap-based Telecaster is in fact the top shield in itself and I only need to shield the rest of the control cavity?
I wouldn't even shield the rest of the control cavity. I would just leave it alone.
Let's see. Rusty Fender says 100% Dylan. I can get more out of the tone knob on the 5s. It gives better mids, maybe.
Okay.
Jay Howler. Dylan, I took the pickup rings from P-Rail pickups, but put your center punches in them. It's awesome getting that extra parallel humbucker sound. You should do a video on that type of setup.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, that's interesting. You're the first person I've ever talked to that did that. Everybody says you should do this, and nobody ever actually says they did it, and you have done it. That's really cool.
That is cool. Sir Sneaker Pimp says, what do you think of the new Tone Master Pro pedal board?
I don't know. I want to get my hands on one. I meant to talk to Steve Sterlacci about it. He just had a couple videos about it, and I didn't get to it today. I was going to actually talk to him about that.
All right, and last one. Benny's World says, oh, sorry, missed who said that, but I get the same with the TTG live stream archive too. I think they set the bit rate too high. I usually just lower the quality.
Gotcha.
Good solution.
Good solution.
All right.
All right.
What time is it?
It is off-topic time. We do have our little thing over there we can put up too.
I will.
So this is one of the things we do for those of you that are new to the channel. After 9 o'clock, and then a little bit more because we wanted to make sure that we got all the questions in that we could reasonably. We do off-topic hour, or as long as you want. I don't care. Sometimes it's 30 minutes. Sometimes it's an hour. Doesn't matter. Just depends how fun it is and how many questions we get.
I took a nap.
You are willing, or you can ask any question you want, and we might answer it. We most likely will. It cannot be about guitars. You can ask a guitar question only with a super chat. If you ask a guitar question and it does not have a super chat after 9 o'clock, we will ignore it. For those of you that get mad about that, show up earlier next week. Because that's what this is about. We just want to hang out with you, get to know you, make friends with everybody. I feel it's really important to do that, to just get to know each other. And just be friends as best we can through this thing we call the internet. So, there are a couple of Patreon questions we should get to first.
Yep. Shane says, hello guys, and happy Indigenous Peoples Day to Dylan.
Thank you.
I won't be around because I'm flying to Australia.
Cool. From
Question
Japan.
to Leslie. What foreign country would you like to photograph? Photograph is a fascinating question. Because that would probably be something European and older.
Mm-hmm.
Even though that's not top of my list to travel. It would actually be Australia. But to photograph...
Architecture and shapes and...
Mm-hmm. I think it would... I don't know where. I don't know where, but probably...
Somewhere
European.
in Europe.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I've not thought about it from that perspective before. I've never traveled specifically to photograph something.
Mm-hmm.
And if I did, I probably would travel different, actually.
Mm.
That's interesting thought process right now.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a cool question.
That is a cool question.
I thought you would actually have an answer for that. I wasn't sure.
I don't. I was not prepared. Dave says, hey, Dylan and Leslie, you have talked about sharpening your own knives. I've been looking at several different style knife sharpeners. Which sharpener do you use, and which sharpeners should I avoid?
I would avoid pull-through sharpeners. You know, the ones that are a V like this, and you take the knife and you pull it through. Those things suck, and they just tear your knives up. I put 2 links in the description of the video because I actually did see this question and I did put a link in there. For WorkSharp Pro and WorkSharp, whatever it's called, it basically what it does is it clamps the knife like this, and then there's a rod that you set at the proper angle, and you go across the bevel of the knife. Then you flip the knife over, and then you go across the bevel of the knife this way, and it keeps your knife angle really, really straight and holds it really well. For bigger knives, you'll need the Pro, like big kitchen knives, and really small knives, like Swiss Army knives. You'll need the Pro because the clamping system is better. I don't have that one. I have the other one. They're both in the link down below.
Cool. Super chat from Doc Siltonen. Thank you for the super chat, Doc. He says, traditional Japanese gardens, very photogenic. So my first reaction was to say Japan, but I thought it was probably because I just saw his pictures, so I didn't know if that was true. Does that make sense?
Obviously, I've had Japan on my mind a lot the last couple weeks because I've really gone down the Japanese... I keep seeing something out of the corner of my eye.
That's freaky. Don't do that.
I know.
I was like, what's behind me?
I know. I don't. Anyway. Because of the Japanese kitchen knife thing, and I've been really going down the whole, that whole rabbit hole, and really enjoying learning about the culture. Not just the knife, but like the culture and I watched a documentary today on hand-forged knives and like the pride that people have in what they do. Like it's just a really old world, and I'm like, that's how I feel about what I do too. Like it's a weird thing because what we do is so niche-y. Like nobody really does this. When you look at the grand scheme of how many people do what I do, it's not very many. And I'm just so proud of what I do. And listening to these old men are like, I'm 7th generation of doing this, or my family's been doing this for 700 years. Like, I mean, crazy. It's just a neat thing, man. So yeah, I'm super fascinated with Japan right now.
I actually think I want to decorate my office like that.
Okay. I mean, you won't get an argument from me.
I wasn't looking for one.
No way,
I wasn't
man.
asking either.
No, I know. I don't care. I think it's great.
Let's...
If I could have a Japanese garden at my house, I would totally have it. Totally. And that's before all this knife stuff.
All right. Another super chat. Vimps69. Thank you for the super chat. How do you guys get together?
You want to answer that one?
You want me to answer that one?
Sure.
I feel like I'm being set up.
I don't know.
Totally by chance. In a very strange way. I tell people we met online, and then they assume dating app. Wasn't a dating app. Wasn't on purpose. Not mutual. We had businesses at the time that were interesting to the other party, which brought up conversation that continued to happen. And I was very, very resistant and had a very, very long list of everything I never wanted to get in life. Because this is ×2 for each of us. But it worked. It is working.
It is. It's super fun. And it's been a long time now.
It has. Let's see. All right. I'm going to grab some questions here and make sure I'm caught up because I feel like I'm not caught up yet.
And we have to talk about why I ordered you a knife, too.
Yeah, I'm not ready yet because I know I have another super chat that I haven't got to. A bonsai tree. That would be a great idea.
Excellent idea.
I would probably kill it. Dastardly Dave. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you, Dylan. I got started rehabbing buck 110s and 112s for gifts. Got a few 2-dot and 4-dot bucks.
Nice. Very cool. I just got my first one. One of our viewers sent me a buck 110, and it's the first one I've ever had. And I appreciate it a lot.
Lou York says, your family's been hand wiring pickups for 700 years.
Yep.
That's funny. Ancient American pickups. Yes.
That's right.
All right. Jeez. Lots of things coming in. You want to start or you want to start answering questions?
Let's answer some questions and then we'll talk about this whole knife thing.
Whole knife thing. Sean McCartney says, do you guys think Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce will make it in this crazy world?
No.
I don't think anybody's going to make it with Taylor Swift.
Agreed.
She's writing some songs right now.
Yeah.
She's in songwriting mode.
Yes. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah. But we have to say Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce for the algorithm.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
All right. I don't think it has anything to do with the world either. Just saying.
Mm-mm.
Timothy Potter, speaking of gifted knives.
Yeah.
Timothy Potter says, how long does it take you to drive the pod to Colorado?
Depends. Depends how determined we are. It took us 2 days this time. We left. The first time we left 5 o'clock in the morning.
It took us a day and a half, and we slept.
A day and a half. That's right.
And we slept.
Mm-hmm.
It took us a day.
Well, I mean, we left 5 o'clock in the morning on Friday, and we were there at 4 o'clock on Saturday.
We had to see Hawk Attack play.
Yeah, we saw Matt's band play. So, and then on the way home, we left. I mean, for all intents and purposes, we left Saturday morning at about 8 o'clock, and we got home.
Not till like Sunday at 8.
Sunday at 8. But
we went a little slower.
We went a little slower, yeah. We didn't go as far the first day as we did. We went 1,000 miles the first day when we went out there. Yeah. We only went 800 miles the first day on the way back, and we did 700
We were
miles.
So tired.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, I'm not going to make it.
Mm-mm.
Don't make me drive in the dark this time. I'm so tired.
Yeah.
But just if you mapped it out, it comes to like 24 hours, right?
It's
if
24
you drove
hours.
straight through, it would be 24 hours.
Yep.
But of course, the advantage we had going to Colorado, and the only reason we made it on time for the show is because we gained hours.
Yep.
Let's see. Sir Sneaker Pimp says, a while back you were going to check into how to hear your dad's band. Any luck with that?
How to hear my dad's band?
I don't know.
No, I don't remember that. I don't know.
It's not recorded anywhere, is it?
I mean, he has a bunch of music, yeah, but I don't know where it is.
Matthew Altamare says, when is appropriate for stores to start playing Christmas music?
Never.
It just depends on who you ask.
Yep.
My boss thinks September is Christmas time.
No, that's stupid.
He is, I mean, full on.
Mm-mm.
Full on.
Is he already wearing a sweater and everything?
No, not a sweater, but he does have a Christmas tree in the background of his...
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but it's
like a virtual background?
It's a virtual background. He did compromise because Tyler is like, no, not till after there's like a whole battle, right? Oh. And Tyler is like, no. So he changed it to a fall tree.
Oh, nice.
Anyway. I don't know. We don't go anywhere that time of year. We're just like, no.
Mm-mm. Staying home.
Yeah.
Avoiding it all.
No. All right. Rusty Shackelford says Norway or Iceland are the most photogenic. I really want to go to Iceland.
I want to go to Iceland too.
Not when it's icy.
Okay.
Let's see. Mr. Goat.
Hey, Mr. Go.
Mr. Goat wants to work remote. As folks that work at home and in the same residence, what are some do's and don'ts to consider?
The best noise canceling headphones you can afford.
Yes.
She's a Bose girl and I'm a Sony guy. But we both have the baddest ass of both of those brands' noise canceling headphones. That's number one. Number two is figure out a way to have an office that is isolated from each other. We do not have that right now because we don't have the space. But in our new house, one of the reasons we are picking the new house that we're getting is because it has opposite ends of the house because I'm loud and she needs to be on meeting stuff. Fast internet is a must. Reliably fast internet is a must. And
be comfortable.
Yeah, spend the money on your setup. Get your setup comfortable. Mm-hmm. You have good lights for meetings now. You have a stand-up desk. You have a really good office chair. You have, if it was like, I need to move my keyboard and get the keyboard tray so that it's more ergonomic.
I did get a keyboard tray, yeah.
Like all those things. I mean, I don't think, this is the best it's ever been. And we keep finding...
Just keep refining
it.
Yeah,
keep finding ways to make it better, but it's... Spend the money to do that. Like, don't just throw a laptop on a dining room table and think you're going to work at home. Like,
I've tried that for years. It doesn't work. And I've been doing this...
9 years? 10 years?
Over 10 years now, yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you'll have to have meetings or anything, but you'll be surprised at the technology and sound filtering thing. So don't worry. Don't overthink that part.
You don't need to buy big fancy microphones and big fancy everything. We do have that stuff. She has the fancy webcam that's like a little robot. I just got that for her, but it's
not by my choice.
Not really necessary. It's just, it's fun.
It does work really good.
It does work really good. Yeah. We could probably do a video about that on our other channel.
Maybe we should, since it's changed so much. Mm-hmm. Hopefully that was helpful. Let me know if you had a very more specific question. Charlie Music says Luxembourg.
Which is...
Graham Campbell says lots of castles, ruins, and mountains over here in Scotland. Weather isn't always great, but often dramatic.
I want to get to Scotland because
we each have a castle there.
We do. Speaking of kilts.
Yes. MC squared.
That's the joke, because her maiden name is MC and my name is MC. So when we got married, we're like, why don't we just sign everything MC squared? Because
yep,
makes sense.
So Vanche Guitar says, I like photographing people in their normal day-to-day lives. And I love that. Mm-hmm. And I love street photography. But I am so paranoid that, like, I don't have the right to do that.
You do, though.
Really?
In public, yeah. If you're in a public space, you have no privacy.
Oh.
There is an expectation of no privacy in a public space.
I want to do that then. I
have looked into all of this. It's First Amendment stuff. At least here. Now, I don't know about Canada or any other country, but in the United States...
Well, he is in Canada, right?
Yeah, he is in Canada. But in the United States, it's a First Amendment right to take a photo of anybody in a public space. Yep. And there's a lot of people that have feelings about that, but that's the law.
Oh, Rottweiler has a great point. He said, don't let people put things on you just because you work from home. Significant other wants you to do laundry during work hours? No. You're working. Boss wants you to pick up the phone at 8 p.m.? Nope. You're home. Yeah, boundaries are a great thing, Rottweiler. And actually, that's a huge pet peeve of mine since I worked at home. Again, nothing to do with COVID. I've been doing this over 10 years. But people's first response when you tell them you work from home is like, oh, must be nice. This is the hardest I've ever worked, ever.
Yeah, and so talking about boundaries both ways, She works a set number of hours every day, and she's done at a particular time. And she does not. There are some times where you'll check your Slack messages or something if there's something special going on. We all have those kind of situations. But she works this time to this time, done. The only thing I can't get her to do is take as much lunch sometimes as she should or whatever. Like,
Yeah, because once I'm working, I'm like working.
I do the same thing, though. We are both kind of workaholics when it comes to that. And then on the other side of that, we've had to tell our daughter specifically, look, you cannot call me and talk about nothing for an hour until after 4 o'clock because we are working until then. Like, she'll call. She did it today. What are you doing? I'm working. Oh.
And then she just keeps talking.
So I'm going to go to Chick-fil-A and, like, that's what it was.
And she's calling you because she knows not to call me.
She knows not to call. I know. That's the thing. Because she's already had to have this conversation with her. Like, look, I'm working. Do not call me right now and talk about nothing. If it's in a,
and then if she does call me, I know it's important.
Right,
like,
exactly.
Yeah.
Right. So, yeah, you have to set those boundaries. And, I mean, you do laundry during work and stuff, but that's because you've been doing it for 10 years and you have your job's different now, too. Mm-hmm. When your job was actually even more time demanding in the past, and she wouldn't do anything. Like,
I don't think time demanding is the right word.
Well, you were kind of more glued to your desk before.
That is probably true. Yeah.
Yep. But there are days where I don't see. I mean, her desk is right. Like, you can see it on the gap right here.
Yeah.
Over her shoulder, past the red light. Her desk is right there.
Yeah.
And there are some days where she starts working. Now, every morning we get up and we sit down and we have coffee from like 7:30 or 7:45 to 8 o'clock just to talk together and hang out every morning. We do that every morning. It's really important. But once she goes to work, some days I do not even speak to her until 4 o'clock, and she's right there. Like, you just kind of...
Some days I have meetings all day, too.
Yeah, and so or she's really involved in a project or preparing something or for a meeting or whatever, and I'm in here winding pickups. Like, we just do not... You have to make sure that those boundaries can be understood. And I know if her light is on, like her lights for her students, she's in a meeting, and if my door is closed, I'm in here shooting a video. Like, you just learn the boundaries and work within those. And once you figure it out, it's super easy.
Super excited to get my own office, though, and close the door.
Yeah, because she's in a public space.
Then he will never see me.
It's probably true. Yeah. Super chat.
So, Mr. Goat, thank you for the super chat. He says, thank you. Love you guys. You guys make me smile. So, good luck if you're going to work from home. That's really exciting. I know it's not for everybody, but if you are interested and want to do it, it does take, similar to what Rottweiler was saying, like, it takes a level of discipline. It takes boundaries. And that is why I try to stick to a schedule, because otherwise I wouldn't have any boundaries. So I try to stick to a schedule so that I shut my computer down. So it's not like I could just walk by and start doing something, which I would do.
Which I do.
And he does. But I shut it down and it'll be there tomorrow.
Yeah, we have different things, because her job is... And I think people misunderstand. Like, people, our friends and stuff, they misunderstand that she actually has a real job. Like, it's like a real job for a company. Where I don't. I don't have that. So I actually use her schedule to schedule what I do. So if I'm, she goes to work at 8, I go to work at 8 or 7 or whatever. And we work and we do what we're going to do. And every day is a thing. Like, Mondays I do a certain thing, Tuesdays I do a certain thing, Wednesdays I do, but you have to stick to that to keep ahead of it all. The only difference with me is my business never closes. Just like CSI Miami. We never close. So I have to really be careful about, like, sometimes if you message me at 8 o'clock on a Wednesday night, I'm not going to answer you till the next morning. Like, some days I will if it's...
Yeah, right.
If it's an easy, quick answer, I will, but sometimes I won't because I have to set those boundaries and not be working 24/7.
He's not good at that.
I suck at it. She's really good at it.
Because people are like, it's different if you work for somebody than if you work for yourself. But I also, since I've had this job, ran a MLM company with 5,000 women and had zero boundaries and feel like I answered and talked to people in the middle of the night.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah, we've had it all extremes.
Yeah.
Yep. We've experimented with a lot.
So
of
I've gone
things.
from that extreme to now, like, I don't want to do anything. Mm-hmm. Like today, I was like, nope, not doing anything. I'm going to lay right here and I'm going to take a nap. Mm-hmm. And now we're here doing this.
And that's the other thing. I have to, because of my health, because of my back and stuff, I can't work for more than a couple minutes at a time. Really.
A couple minutes?
I mean,
that's extreme.
20. You know, I have to change it up. I can't.
True.
I can't do anything. Yeah. So, on Thursdays, I don't do anything after from 2 till.
You have to though to like mentally be ready for this. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is.
Work-life balance is a thing when you work for yourself, or when we both work from home. We're both in the same room all the time. It's a thing. And some days after 4 o'clock, we have to get out of here. Mm-hmm. Like it's Thursday.
Like, I don't even know what I need to do, but I need to leave.
Besides running packages to the post office, we left once on Tuesday. Mm-hmm. But we haven't left since we got home.
I know.
To do anything. We grocery shopped and we went somewhere on Tuesday. But we haven't left. So, like, tomorrow after work, we're gonna go do something. Otherwise, we'll just sit here the entire, like...
And now it's raining, which is the weather's changing and it's raining and that feels depressing. And
now you have to actually wear pants. You can't wear shorts everywhere when it's cold.
I think it's going to be like 80 degrees Saturday, so you'll be fine.
I know.
All right. Let's get back to this. Mr. Goat said South Dakota is a great country. I've taken some really nice
We have a lot of good pictures from South Dakota.
In South Dakota. Lou York X says, I'd love to visit and photograph Australia, to be honest.
Same.
Marcia Murray says, Australia, I imagine, is cool to photograph because the cameraman person never dies. Wow.
Oh, is that great. What it is?
That is great. Jesse Harmon says, not sure if you remember, but a few weeks ago, I asked a question about a 70s Fender Pro and whether it was repairable. The tech worked magic and got it running like a champ. No pun intended.
Excellent. Well,
that
good.
Is exciting. Jesse's photograph looks very professional. Like it should be his LinkedIn picture or something.
Maybe it is.
Maybe it is. Angel Raven 444 says, Dylan, did ya see that recent Bigfoot vid on Colorado on a train? What do you think?
Okay, so I heard about that today, and I have not gotten to look into it. Matt mentioned it in his live stream, and I did not get to see it.
Clint posted a video, but I didn't know what it was. And then when Matt mentioned it, I was
Emery?
I was like, oh, that must be whatever Clint posted, because he's crazy. Oh, I don't know what his channel's called. I forget.
Yeah, we'll look it up.
It's not his name. Anyway,
we'll look it up.
Remember.
Space Force guy.
Yeah, but I don't. Jay Howler says, what is the best part of waking up? Can't be Folgers.
Oh, no.
There's no way it's Folgers.
No,
yeah.
The best part of waking up, we don't drink Folgers around here. We're a bit of snobby on the coffee thing. Oh, I need to order filters. We're got this many coffee filters left, which I forgot about. While you're looking for that, I'm going to tell you about.
It's not his real thing. He has a jokey one. I don't remember what it's called. Anyway, you want to talk, or you want me to finish these? There's only 4.
Go ahead.
I don't know what happened to my YouTube. I usually watch them both. There we go. Okay. Sir Sneaker Pimp, do you think Lance will finally get the boot? Lawrence can put him in the WC Aston so that he still has a job. It's been estimated that he is costing the team $55 million a year in prize money.
I think that he should get the boot. I don't know who they would put in his place, but I think somebody else. He's not that good. And I'm hoping that Lawrence Stroll will see the light and be like, okay, yeah, it's my son, but he's just not that good.
And then Sir Sneaker Pimp also said, what do you think of Mark going to Grissini? I don't know what that word is. I think he has extended his career and will end up eventually at Ducati.
Oh, I don't know that. I didn't know that. Mark Lorenzo, are you talking about? I didn't know that.
Doc Siltonen says, have you heard of a Yakut knife? Yakut?
Yakut. Let me see if I know exactly.
Oh, Mr. Goat nailed it. He said peeing. Peeing is the best part of waking up.
Well, that's true.
Fair. Not if it's like in the middle of the night, though. That sucks. Hashtag getting old.
I have seen these. I have seen them. They are very interesting. Very, it's very much like a
They're Siberian? Are they always Siberian? Is that the thing?
Yeah, I think so, because it's a tribe over there. Okay, so speaking of knives, so I ordered and I don't remember if it's a Nihei. Maybe it is. It might be the same brand and the same blacksmith of the Santoku that I have with the dark handle and the... I ordered a petty, 135 millimeter petty, which is, going to be about like that long. For you, because the Japanese knives that I have, like the big one, it's a 240 millimeter Gyuto. It's huge. Super intimidating to use. And I feel like you're almost like, I don't want to use them.
I haven't used them.
I know. So that's why I was like, I want to get a petty knife anyway. And I was like, I'm going to get one, a stainless clad one, where we don't have to worry so much about corrosion or anything. A little bit lower maintenance. Still super sharp, smaller, lighter, because you like a paring utility knife size anyway. That's what you use for most stuff. Mm-hmm. And so that you could try it and see if it's something that you will start to, understand this Japanese knife thing. Because it is a totally different world. Once you cut something with a proper hand-forged Japanese knife, you will never want to use anything again. It's like, I don't know. That and the cutting board. I keep going on about the Hasegawa cutting board, but it is unbelievably good. Well, you know that already. Mm-hmm. Anyway, yes, I think you will like it. You will never make a BLT the same way again.
What? A BLT?
Because once you cut a tomato with a Japanese knife, you're going to be like, holy crap.
I do like tomatoes. Lou, hang on. I had other things come in. Let's see. Rob F. is here.
And I ordered it from Carbon Knife Company in Colorado.
Let's see. Curtis Chavez says, oh, man. Now that AI exists, I mean, it's not new. How could anyone be sure of what we're seeing on a video or even hearing on a recording?
I think that is going to be the subject of a lot of digital IP, and I don't mean internet protocol, I mean intellectual property, conversations over the next few years and how to manage that. That is one of the main reasons. I know a lot of people were like, I can't believe movie stars are striking, but that's one of the big things that they had to talk about was how to protect intellectual property, digital stuff.
And not even just intellectual property. I mean, he mentions what we're seeing on video.
This might not really be me.
There is software that is, it's real people because they have been paid to be recorded and whatever, to be a character, but there is software that will make your videos for you with a person and a voice that I don't know. I think you could tell. I don't know. Maybe not.
So I've seen where people like Joe Rogan, who has thousands and thousands of hours of his voice available for an AI to pick up.
Well, and that's the other thing, because
like he's advertising for products that he doesn't even use.
Right.
Like
and the voice recording thing is a thing now too. So yeah, being able to incorporate that into another system is definitely going to be a thing.
I mean, there's enough people out. There's enough stuff. I have enough stuff on the internet. Somebody could just be like,
Dylan said
Dylan loves Harley Benton's.
You just said it. You're screwed now.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like,
dude, you're real. Like, you just said it.
Oh, yeah. But I don't. I'm just saying that.
Yeah, but you can cut that part out.
Oh, that's true.
Everything can be taken out of context.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know how we're going to know.
It's all going to be part of the process, I think, of figuring it out.
Lou York X says, what kind of coffee do you buy? Not Folgers. Not Folgers.
I try lots of stuff. So my backup default is I have a subscription to Black Rifle Coffee Company, I only use them because they have a light roast that works good in my grinder. So I have one of my I have a couple of different coffee grinders, and one of my coffee grinders is sort of finicky about the beans that it likes to use, and so I've found they have a bean that I like. But a lot of times we'll be out different places and see different things, and we'll just pick up different stuff, different beans and different roasts from different places. And
yeah, I don't know that we always drink. We never always drink the same coffee. We
used to have 2 or 3 YouTube viewers that had coffee roasters and stuff, and they would send me random bags, or if I liked some. I had a guy that sent me a bag one time, and we actually bought coffee from him for probably a year. I would just PayPal him $20, and he would send me a pound of coffee or whatever, So that was cool. I did that with him for a while, and we've had other people send us coffee and try because we just like it from different places. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Whatever happened to Marcus? Marcus sent us coffee before.
Mm-hmm. I don't know what happened to him.
I see him sometimes on Facebook. I guess I'm still friends with him. Instagram? I don't know. I must be still friends with him somewhere.
Yeah.
Let's see. Mr. Goat said Rogan's voice is out there promoting snake juice on Facebook ads.
Yep.
The snake juice guy reminds me of Joe Rogan, though, so it might just be the snake juice guy. I've been down that rabbit hole.
The snake juice guy.
Yeah. Dylan thought he was going to die. Yeah, Timothy Potter says, AI will be able to put you on a video you did not make saying things you did not say that could be disastrous. Yeah, yep. I get it. Lou says that was a great answer to the coffee question. Yeah, we are pretty snobby about coffee.
Mm-hmm.
He mentioned he has multiple grinders. He has multiple machines. He has multiple methods of making coffee.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Sir Sneaker Pimp said, oh, wait, Timothy Potter said, have you tried chocolate bean coffee? I love it. I don't even know what that is. Chocolate bean coffee?
I have not tried that. I don't know what that is.
I don't either. I'll have to look that up. Sir Sneaker Pimp says Robin Williams put in his will that his estate owns the rights to his likenesses, so we'll never see him selling socks in a foreign language.
Yeah, so...
Who ripped you off that time? You've been ripped off
Yeah,
before.
I've been ripped off a bunch of times. Yep.
It's chocolate bean coffee.
Yep. I've been ripped off a bunch of times where I've had... People have taken stuff out of videos and put them in Chinese videos and all kind. I've had that happen a bunch of times.
Is it cacao? Because
Yeah,
I see
yeah,
that.
Yeah.
And then this is just coffee. Chocolate flavored? Makes me think it's the cacao stuff.
Yep. That'll make sense because cacao is still bitter enough to still kind of work in coffee, not be a sweet thing.
They have a peppermint right now. Oh, it's about the time for some flavored coffee in the evening. I love that.
Yep.
We don't drink near as much coffee as we used to.
No.
Huh. Vinny's World said, what grinders do you recommend? Do you have a link to the Amazon store in your description?
Yep.
I think that's all in our Amazon store.
Yeah, if you go
Vinny.
in the link of the description, the Amazon store is down there, our Amazon store, and there's a page for just coffee. And it'll show my espresso machine, my Chemex, my AeroPress, and I have 2 grinders. The one grinder I don't like as much. I really like it. It's just messy and it's really finicky with beans. It grinds really well, but if you have too dark a roast, so for those of you that aren't familiar, light roast coffee is not weaker. It's just not roasted as long, and so the oil is still inside the bean, so it's not as shiny. So if you see a shiny coffee bean, that's one of 2 things. It's either old and stale, and the oils have come out of it, or it's a dark roast coffee bean that's been roasted for longer and the oils have come out. So really oily beans, dark roast beans, this one coffee coffee grinder that I have, it clogs it really bad. So, and I can't remember what the name of it is, but I like it. It's just a pain. But that's my coffee grinder. And then my espresso grinder is I have a DeLonghi big digital thing. I can't remember the model. It's on the Amazon store. But that's just my espresso grinder. But I think I want to get another one of those for my coffee because I like that grinder, but you can't switch them back and forth all the time. You got to have one of each. So I think I'm going to get another one of those just for coffee. Because this other one, I like it. It's just kind of a pain. It's a little finicky.
I think it's all ground coffee.
Yeah, we don't buy ground coffee that much. The only time we'll buy ground coffee is when we're in the van, because we use an Arobi AeroPress in the van and a electric kettle because it's really compact, and I don't bring a grinder in the van.
I might really buy this though, because this would be perfect evening coffee because it's not coffee.
Do it.
And cacao has adaptogens and things in it.
Yeah.
Plus some of these flavors sound really delicious. Caramel, cinnamon, hazelnut, peppermint, pumpkin spice, maple. Anyway.
You need to get some furry
Thank
boots.
you, Timothy Potter. What? Did you say I need furry boots?
Mm-hmm. Get you a Han Solo costume.
Let's see. I was talking and not paying attention. Marcia Murray says light roast has more caffeine.
Mm-hmm.
Curtis Chavez says, I find it ironic that the world's most expensive coffee is actually monkey poop.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, perfume is like scent glands from stinky animals, isn't it? Like, I mean, some of the coolest stuff is really gross.
Yep.
Somebody said I thought it was cat poop.
There is a cat poop one too, yeah. It's not actually cat poop.
Mr. Goat said, my go-to is what I have named Ghetto Mochas. Is a donut shop pod with a pack of hot chocolate. Stir, or if you're feeling fancy, froth. Enjoy.
That is amazing.
There was a
love
guy I used to work with at the hospital
I
that
love that.
didn't like coffee, but that's what he would do. He would mix a hot chocolate pack with some coffee, and that was what he drank.
That makes sense to me. Reminds me of those machines where you hit the button and it just comes out like in a
Steve
hotel.
Fraser says, I find little piles of coffee beans in my yard. I see a bunny out there sometimes. I think he tries to eat them before I can make coffee for my brother. That's funny.
That is funny.
Lou York says, digital coffee grinder, it doesn't have tubes.
Nope. It does not have tubes.
Uh,
No, that one's really cool because you can set the grind size and really precisely, and then you can set the time of the grind really precisely. That's why I use it for espresso.
well, this turned weird.
Why? We talked about coffee.
We did. Now I want some chocolate coffee.
We have
he
hot
says
chocolate.
Choffee. Oh, I do have hot chocolate.
I just found it today. Or not just found it, but I just ran across it in the pantry today, and I was like, oh.
You ran across it in the pantry on display.
Well, I never look up there at eye level because that's pretty
Still
much
have
where it
the
is.
vegan marshmallows too.
You do.
He says Choffee is the brand he gets. That's definitely not what I'm looking at. So,
New tab.
yes. Did you see that? Are
No,
you
but I'm
judging me?
assuming that you have a new tab because you always have multiple tabs going.
Choffee. It's also brewed cacao. So.
Oh, okay.
Oh, but this is like not fancy. Like it's actually like presented like coffee, like Ecuador. Yeah, we'll have to try this.
Cool.
Now
Looks
I'm
like
gonna
we're
try-
going to order
oh.
some coffee after we get off this live stream. I'm actually going to order some Chemex filters too because I'm.
And speaking of office setup, I just ordered a new balance board. I'm gonna get rid of the Wurf board.
So you didn't get an under desk.
No, because I should go outside. I should just go outside.
Gotcha.
I'm inside enough. That's
I
what
get
I
that.
decided.
Makes sense. Yep.
I should get outside more.
Yep.
And away from my desk floor.
Yep. Cool. Well, on that note, you guys, thanks for hanging out tonight. It's like 10 o'clock, so. We appreciate everybody. And I'm going to get up in the morning and edit a video that you're going to see. I shot it already, but you're going to see it tomorrow. Well, I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm not even going to tell you what it is. So just make sure you're subscribed and liked and bell hit and...
Bell hit.
Yep. And affiliate link used and...
Yeah, even if you don't want coffee grinders, click on the link and buy all your Amazon that way.
Yep. Helps
Every
us
little
out.
bit helps.
Thanks for hanging out, y'all. We will see you tomorrow.